All right. This says here we are live. So welcome everybody to the MMA Mainstream Podcast. I'm James, joined by Kaelyn and our special guest, Maritza Sanchez. She's competed in Combates Americas. She's 1-1. And you also compete in Fight to Win the Jiu-Jitsu matches, correct?
Yes, I do.
All right. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. You had just mentioned that you're in the middle of you're recovering from an injury. How is that going?
Yeah, thank you for having me. And currently going through an injury. I'm in the middle of the process of going through it. So, I mean, it's going well. I mean, injuries suck overall, but the recovery is going pretty well.
That's one thing we don't really seem to hear about is we hear somebody's injured, but we don't really hear about the processes that they go through while being injured. So that was just something that I thought was interesting to pick to hear about, to learn about.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been taking it pretty easily. The first week was pretty rough because I was still going into the gym and I was just watching. I was just watching people train. It just sucked. But I'm slowly getting back into it. Like this last week, I've been able to hit some mitts. So it's getting better.
Right on. The UFC happened last weekend and is happening this coming weekend. We had Kamaru Usman beat Gilbert Burns in the third round by knockout. Did either of you happen to catch that fight?
Yes, definitely.
Somewhat. I was able to kind of watch it a little bit, but not fully.
Okay, well, Kaelyn, we'll start with you. Tell me your thoughts on the bout.
So I was surprised. I think I don't remember. I think I had Gilbert Burns that I predicted the last time we talked. I was surprised, but Kamaru Usman just stepped it up like he always does. So I was happy to see him keep his belt. I don't like to see people lose their belts. But it was a really good fight. It's almost like when him and Colby Covington fought, where you thought it was going to be a pretty even match, and it turns out they just got destroyed. So it kind of reminded me of that, but I was pleasantly surprised with it. I liked it a lot. It's a good stand-up fight too.
Maritza, what did you think?
Yeah, I just saw the highlights basically, I mean, it was a great fight. You know, he deserved it. Looked like he worked pretty hard for it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't give him enough credit, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to now, but they keep throwing around, greatest of all time, or one of the greatest welterweights anyway, which I think absolutely definitely one of them, but you got GSP, so that's not going to change, but I think he's getting up there. I think he either tied or surpassed GSP's consecutive title defense, I think it is, title defenses, so that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And I think he is up there in the top 5 of the greatest welterweights of all time. Good. I mean, we do have fighters like GSP and Matt Hughes, but Usman he's making his way up there. It doesn't really seem to be like he's become more notable as, he became champion and is started to have these great fights. But for some reason, he seems to fly under the radar until a certain point, and then they started promoting him very heavily. So it's great that now people aren't overlooking him, that he is now recognized by people. And his last fight, he's like I told Kaelyn last week when we did our picks, he's a great athlete, and I knew he was going to step up his game. So I was right. So that's all I got to say about that.
Those guys used to be training partners also. So I think that had a very big advantage for Usman. Yeah. And he even made some comments after the fight saying, he's like, yeah, he used to throw that punch in sparring, and, so he's already aware of everything he had, and I guess nothing's really changed too much. So that was kind of interesting too.
That's interesting. I didn't know
that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah, they were training partners, and I believe Burns left to train for the fight. So
Burns left? I thought Usman left. I don't know.
Did he? I could be wrong as well. But somebody had to go, and
yeah,
we got the end result this past weekend. And
Yep.
then let's see, what else do we have on that card?
The co-main
We also-
event was good too.
There was this other fight, Anthony Hernandez and
I heard about that.
Anthony Hernandez and who was the other one?
I forget. I can't recall his
I'm
opponent.
trying to bring up that fight right now.
Gassed out. His Anthony Hernandez opponent gassed out so quickly, like it was bad.
Was this in a prelim or obviously right?
I think it was in the prelim.
It was a prelim.
Okay.
Let me still working on that to bring that up for you guys. Yeah, that fight was crazy because the guy he fought, Rodolfo Vieira, was Abu Dhabi Combat Club champ, and he got submitted.
His resume is insane for jiu-jitsu. Yeah. That fight turned around so fast. I can't believe it. That was a very exciting fight. I remember that.
I believe I read a stat that said he was the first person, Hernandez was the first person in 20 years to submit an Abu Dhabi Combat Club champ.
That is insane. That is nuts. Crazy. That was a great fight.
That
Very
was a great fight, yeah.
All right. Those just checking out some of the stuff from the website, from the UFC website with the stats. And then we're going to go back to the main card. If my computer will let me. Let's see. That's that fight. Come on now.
I think that was the only fight that I was able to fully watch.
That fight, I wasn't able to fully watch it. I did catch some of the post-fight press conference, so I was pretty interested in that. Dana White had some pretty interesting things to say. He brought up a lot with the Usman stuff and how a lot of people have slept on him, and
they still do. They still are. I know they are.
I feel like as he progresses, people are starting to recognize. But right now, like I know about him. We know about him. But that dude is just a phenomenal athlete. What'd you guys think about the Macie Barber Alexa Grasso fight? Alexa Grasso won by decision, and from what I saw in the highlights, she looked pretty good with the striking, pretty crisp. Kaelyn, what did you think?
I love that fight. So I'm a huge Macie Barber fan, and I've loved her ever since I saw her come out of the Contender Series. It's really good and super young, so I'm a really big fan of hers. But Alexa Grasso definitely got the best of her. It was a stand-up fight. Grasso obviously is a great boxer. Macie Barber, it looked like the entire fight she couldn't find her distance. It almost looked like she was shadow boxing right in front of her. She was just nowhere near her or her face with throwing those punches. So I don't know if she was doing that just out of to make distraction or whatever, but obviously there was a range issue with her. And Alexa Grasso is so good with her stand-up. I think it looked like she had more reach. I don't know if that's true or not, but watching the fight, I could tell that Grasso knew her distance and was tagging her a lot. So I liked that fight a lot, and I was a little surprised.
Well, Alexa Grasso got the win, and so apparently Macie Barber is not the future, which is her nickname.
No, she still could be. Come on.
I know. I just talk smack. I can't help myself.
Yeah, I was able to watch a little bit of that fight, and I don't know if Alexa was able to capitalize, Macie Barber's takedowns, like capitalize on that, like her defense. Because I know Macie was trying to go for takedowns, so I don't know. Did Alexa get taken down a few times, or?
I don't remember. I don't remember her getting taken down.
Maybe like once or twice, I think.
I do not remember. I don't, because the only thing that caught my eye, I'm like, oh, her range is off. I know what's going on. That's all I remember.
Yeah. No, yeah.
She may have. I'm sorry, I don't remember, but
yeah, Alexa has really good boxing hands.
Yeah, I think even Dana White in the post-fight conference was saying how they've had their eye on her for a long time, and he even went as far as to say, you know, he thought she was going to be the next Mexican Ronda Rousey in a way. I was surprised when he said that, but she is definitely getting up there, and she's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because after my last fight, she followed me on Instagram a little bit.
Oh wow!
2 months after,
nice.
Like, kind of fangirling. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I'd be surprised like if anyone even like came across like a post that I make. You know, even if I was a pro fighter, I just do amateur, so I'm not, you know, not big at. But it's always such a cool feeling when you see someone you know or look up to follow or like something.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we had Kelvin Gastelum. He won by decision. I didn't see any highlights from that fight. Kaelyn, what did you think about that bout?
That was a good fight for Kelvin Gastelum. Ian Heinisch, I think Kelvin Gastelum just got the better of him. But that was a good fight. It was a good stand-up fight. I think I'm seeing here, looking back at the stats, I think Gastelum outstruck him for sure. There was and he had like 4 or 5 or 6 takedowns also that were pretty cool. Kelvin just looked really good in that fight. He looked like he was ready. He looked really good. I'm a Gastelum fan also, so it was nice to see that.
And what about Ricky Simon winning by decision?
I saw that fight. Don't remember it. I'm sorry. It wasn't really that significant to me on that one.
That's all right. And then Julian Marquez won by submission. Tell us a little bit more about that bout.
I wish I could. I cannot.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, that's enough of that.
No, I was just so excited about the main event and co-main. I kind of just blocked it out.
No worries. We have comments. One of our viewers, Juan Ramirez. Damn, James Gilliland, you were going all out Amish. Yeah, this is a work in progress. I eventually like to go maybe full Gandalf. I mean, like maybe Wizard-esque. That's kind of the goal. So we'll see. And then he commented again, which was your favorite free agent pickup from Bellator or PFL? Well, I think the biggest free agent pickup that we have really discussed and was most noted was Yoel Romero being picked up by Bellator. I think that was epic after he was let go from the UFC. What do you ladies have a preference on who you think was a good pickup?
I know. Well, obviously Yoel Romero, one of the greatest ones. Also, you know, they got Corey Anderson. Also came from UFC. He's good. You know, it's been a really long time, but Phil Davis has been in there for a while. I like him. I mean, Bader came from UFC also, didn't he?
A lot of people came from the UFC, but it is more recent.
Recent. Oh, Yoel for sure. Just for the more recent, yeah.
I haven't been updated with any of this information. But yeah, that's new to me.
That and Anthony Johnson also. So he was recent as well. And they're gonna fight, so that's gonna be really good.
And Juan Ramirez is watching the show live and he says Showtime at PFL. So yeah, that's a good solid pickup for them because I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know too many guys competing at PFL. So
I haven't watched PFL. To be honest.
Like, I'll be honest, if it's on the Fight Pass, like the UFC Fight Pass, I can't afford that. That is not in my budget. So I'm not watching it. Because speaking of Fight Pass, LFA is having their 100th card tonight.
LFA.
Yeah, LFA, they've hit 100. And they're having a flyweight title fight.
Oh, who is it? It's a.
Let me pop that up for us.
Male or
fighters for them.
Let's see.
Flyweight. Isn't Pettis in there also?
Ooh, that I'm not sure about. From what I was seeing, a lot of these are fighters that I don't even think have like 10 fights total. A few might, but that's kind of few and far between. Victor Altamirano versus Nate Smith. Let's see the balance sheet. And only there's a problem though. Only Altamirano is eligible for the belt because Nate Smith didn't make weight. He was over by 2 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah. And in the co-main, we have another flyweight with Charles Johnson versus Carly Penning Gilliland. I butchered that, and I apologize to that person, but it's okay. You're fighting tonight, so go focus on that. Don't worry about what I say. So they're having that card tonight. LFA is competed here in Fresno locally, but unfortunately, I have not seen much else. Like I saw it live once, and I haven't seen much else of it since it's been picked up by the UFC. Have you either of you seen anything about LFA?
No,
I haven't.
All right. Well, darn.
Yeah.
But LFA, it's just to me one of those. It's a organization that's been around since it's hit 100, but yet it's still up and coming because we don't hear about it much. And since it's on Fight Pass, unless you have Fight Pass, you really
don't hear about it. If it's on Fight Pass, you're really not hearing about it. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And the UFC Fight Pass is great. It has all these things that you could check out, but they don't seem to promote it very well.
I honestly just canceled it. It's like, I don't know, like $15 a month. I'm like, I haven't even opened the app in about just more than 6 months. I got rid of it, but right after I got rid of it, they just added lion fights on there. So, and I have always struggled to try and watch the lion Muay Thai fights because they never really had a good ground with what station they're on. I mean, they used to be on Axis, which was cool. I got to watch that when I had cable, but I forgot where they went after that. It was CBS Sports, and I think had it, and I didn't have that channel for sure. That's like a extra add-on when you go buy like Comcast, and so it's never on there. Never got to see it. Now they added it on Fight Pass, and I got rid of it. I might have to get it back again.
I mean, Fight Pass does have some great stuff. So, I mean, I would wait for the history.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We still we're talking about LFA, which is also on UFC Fight Pass, and then we also have this weekend coming up a UFC Fight Night, and we have Curtis Blaydes versus Derrick Lewis. That is going to be an exciting fight to me. Like that fight that's going to be to me a war, or over very, very quickly. If that fight goes to the ground because they're exhausted or somebody is knocked out.
Yeah.
It's going to be an explosive fight, I feel like.
I think so too. Agree. I like how Derrick Lewis has been looking lately, though, in his last few fights. I know before he had, some kind of crazy back injury or something where, you'd catch him not really doing anything besides waiting for the other guy to come in so that he can counter with his knockout. But the most recent fights I've seen, he's very active. He's moving around like he's able to maneuver around a little easier. And I think it's because he lost a lot of weight, actually. He was saying I think he shaved off like 20 extra pounds or something. So he's not as heavy as he used to be. And I could tell. And it's really exciting because, all of a sudden I see him doing these flying, jumping knees and stuff. And I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't know his body could actually do that. But I like Derrick Lewis. He's getting so much better. He's way more active in there now. I like it.
Now, do you guys follow Derrick Lewis on Instagram?
I think I do. If not, I gotta follow him. I always see someone else posting what he posted, but it's always so funny.
It is hilarious. He is one of my favorite people to follow on Instagram because of the goofy stuff that he posts.
So he doesn't care.
I am rooting for Lewis in this fight. Curtis does have 2 losses to Ngannou, which that's his only loss. So that's awesome. But
not bad.
I do want to see I want to see Lewis take this. What do you ladies think?
I think I'm gonna go with Lewis as well.
Yeah, no, I want to see Lewis come back, and he's on his way. So hopefully he doesn't have any more injuries because he looks really good, in the last few fights. So hopefully he keeps that pace up.
Yeah, especially after an injury, it's kind of like
a back injury. That's insane. I've never hurt my back, but I can't imagine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we also have a women's bantamweight bout.
Mm.
All right, Kaelyn, do you want to take the lead on that?
Yeah, I'm a Yana Kuniskaya fan, so I would like to see her win. Ketlen Vieira, I don't know too much about her. She's been around for a while though. The screen's really small. I can't see what they're ranked. I think Kuniskaya is number 7. I think
Vieira is 6 and Kuniskaya is 7.
Okay, yeah, 7. I like when you have a matchup with someone who's ranked so close to each other. It's going to be good. Those always end up so good. They're not ever. It's not like you have a champion fighting number 8. So I think it'll be. I think it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be an active fight, probably in a decision. Just to be honest, but I'm going for Yana Kuniskaya. I like her.
Yeah, I think I agree. I don't know too much about the other girl. I have seen Yana fight before plenty of times, and she has really good striking.
Not bad, yeah. I think she fought Cyborg. I think I don't remember when, but everyone expects to get, everyone expects Cyborg to starch the other girl, whatever. But she put up a pretty good fight. She did good. She did better than I thought. So.
I think I'm gonna go for the underdog, which is the other girl. So we'll see what happens. Yeah,
we'll see. Vieira. I'm probably just biased. Right. That's why I'm going for Yana, but we'll see.
I'll have to say Yana by knockout. If it goes to decision, wow. I think Vieira would take it.
Okay.
That is my pick on that. And then moving on in the card, we have Charles Rosa, Boston Strong, versus Derrick Minor.
I don't know anything about these two guys. I think I've seen Rosa fight, but I don't remember.
Rosa has 17 fights total, where Derrick has over 30. Wow. So there's quite the difference in experience. They both like their submissions. 64% wins by submissions compared to 88%.
Wow.
This seems to be for the mismatch in records. This seems to be a pretty interesting matchup.
What weight is this at?
This is at 145.
145. Yeah, they're not ranked either, so I do not know.
But they're on the main card, so it should be an exciting bout.
Should be. It's also fight night, so
true. I do think this, because they both favored submissions. I would expect this fight to go to the ground, but we'll see how it goes. They don't go to decision very often, so that would be very great to see.
Interesting.
An exciting fight with hopefully a good finish.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you pick, Kaelyn?
I'm gonna go with Charles Rosa.
All right. What about you, Maritza? Who you pick?
Which one is the one that has more experience?
I think Minor.
Derrick. He has. He's 24 and 11. You go with that. You know what? I'll take that. I think the winner will be Derrick, based off of how much experience he has, because that dude's got a wealth of fights.
Oh yeah.
So I do have to agree with that. I will take him. Now moving down the card. I need to get some pronouncers for these names, because these names are going to kill me. Alexei Olynyk versus what?
Alexei Olynyk. Yeah, you got it.
Olynyk versus Chris
Daukaus.
Thank you. All right. Holy cow. Olynyk with 59. His record is 59, 13, and 1.
Yeah, that guy.
Dude.
He's been around.
He's a vet.
Yeah.
I would say so versus 10 and 3. Olynyk is coming off a loss, whereas Chris is coming off of a win. This is a battle of the big boys. These are heavyweights. 240 versus 250. Holy moly. With the 4H reach advantage for Olynyk. All right. Dang. All right. Well, this is kind of interesting. 90% KO and TKO for Chris, whereas Alexis Olynyk, I'll just say that, has 78% submission wins. Wow. I think we know how that fight's going to go. If it goes to the ground,
Yeah.
Olynyk with the advantage, and Chris has the TKO KO advantage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you guys want to make a pick?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Alexei Olynyk. I like him. He's a vet. I want to see him win.
All right.
I'm
What
gonna
about
go
you,
with
Mert?
him as well, just because he's a vet.
I have to agree. I completely agree, especially with that many fights. Holy cow!
Yeah.
I mean, he's not Travis. He's not Travis Fulton by any stretch. Travis Fulton, that dude has over 100 fights.
How old are
But for somebody in the UFC, like he's getting there. He's getting there.
Well, how old is he?
Does it say his age?
Alexei Olynyk's pretty.
But he's also ranked, and he's ranked number 10.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So,
yeah, I'll take him as well. And then let's see who else we got. And we have a middleweight bout. I'm not even going to say these names. I quit.
Let's see. Philip
and then Soren and Mavov.
Nasser, I don't know.
I don't know.
See, that's why I'm like, I quit unless I get I need some help with pronunciation. So they're both
hard.
92.
UFC is so big. If they're not ranked, it's very hard to know who these guys are if they're not ranked. Unless some guy's coming in who's a spectacular grappler, or if they have a certain one trait that they have. It's hard to keep up nowadays with all these guys that are getting in UFC.
That's a fact. And I'll usually hear their name and go, well, I can't really pronounce that. So you're crazy tattoo guy. All right, I pick you.
Yeah.
I was like, I like the way you look. I'm going to go with that. All right.
Go by style.
Because unfortunately, a lot of these fighters, when they fight internationally, I've never heard of them. And it's not like I haven't done the research. I just don't know about it. We're not exposed to that here. So it's harder to find out information about them without doing a deep dive.
Yeah, but these guys have their record is the same, looks like.
Yeah, they're both 9-2. They're both coming off wins in their previous fights.
Yeah. This fight looks like a good matchup, actually.
I agree. Let's see. Philip likes to win by KO.
That's good.
Not go to decision, which I appreciate that. So he likes to finish fights. All right. And this must be a debut for them because they don't have any other attributes on the UFC website.
Well, they're gonna come out throwing.
Yeah, hopefully that'd be exciting.
So. I'm going for the Russian.
You going for the Russian?
Yeah.
I'm going with Philip.
You know what? I'm going with Philip as well. He doesn't like to go to decisions, and let's be real, Dana White doesn't like decisions. I don't like decisions. Decisions are bad.
I want to see a knockout is what I want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could go for that too. I can get behind that. All right, cool. On to the next fight. The next fight, okay, I'm kind of shocked he's not that he's fighting in the UFC still, but that he's on the main card of this fight night. And that is Andrei Arlovski, the pit bull, versus Tom Aspinall.
You don't think he should be on the main card?
Okay.
I do.
When I first started watching MMA back in the day in like 01, 02, like Andrei Arlovski, the man. And I'm not saying he's not. But like he's not like, hey, I'm gonna make a title run. No,
I know.
He's past that. He's already been champ. But like, is it cool to see him fight? Of course it is. I love seeing guys that basically grew up watching fight still compete when they still have it. I mean, some fighters don't, some fighters do. We've had that discussion in the past. He still has it. He's still in the UFC. I don't know how many fights he has left on his contract, but to see him on a main card is awesome. But it's like that spot could have been given to someone else to get, to show off the shine.
I mean, he's still in it, You got to give it to him.
Although this is a heavyweight favored card, so there's a lot of heavyweight fights on here. So I'm not bummed out by this. Like, it's just a trip to see it.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, especially after all this time.
Well, I'll have to give it to him. I always go for him when he fights, just because. I think a lot of times, UFC will use a fighter like him, when someone is getting older and has been around a while. They use him as almost like I feel like they use him as a placeholder. So for when all the new guys come in, they're always going to get matched up with younger guys that are,
on their way
starting
up.
to filter into the UFC. Yeah.
Just to kind of test.
Yeah, I feel like they do use fighters like that, which, I guess it's a good test to see where they're at now, when they're getting up there in age or have been around for a while. So I guess, but I like him, so I hope he takes it.
I like him as well. But I'll take Tom.
Tom, all right.
Well, okay. What about you, Maritza? Who do you take?
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with Tom.
You're gonna go with Tom also?
Yes.
All right. And like I said, I appreciate Arlovski.
Look at the records.
Yeah, 30-19 and 30-19. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see.
Have you guys ever seen Arlovski versus Fedor?
No, did not see that one.
Okay,
what organization was that? What organization?
Affliction. They only had 2 fights.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I was at that fight, and to see, well, I know it's Fedor, so like,
yeah,
this was when Fedor was Fedor.
There you go.
And so I saw that fight, and for some reason, after seeing Arlovski get knocked out the way he did, I have always had doubt in every fight I've ever watched of his.
Well,
So
I mean, yeah.
I'm basically always betting against him, even though he is doing better recently.
It's
How long
funny,
will that
he's not
last?
doing bad.
No, I said he's been doing better recently.
Yeah,
he's doing good.
It's funny.
But I will always have doubt because of Fedor.
Well, you see what happened to Fedor.
Let's not. Hey, why are you talking about old stuff? No.
I don't know. No, I'm a huge Fedor fan, so I do not want to see him fight ever again. No one needs to see him fight anymore. He's fine. Exactly. He's made his legacy. Exactly. Just leave it alone.
The only thing he needs to fight is old age. That is it. Just let him fight that. All right, and that is the card for the UFC Fight Night this weekend. All right. Yeah.
I'm assuming you guys are tuning in.
Oh yeah.
For free fights wherever I can access them.
It's free. Yes. You can watch it. Watch it.
Then yes, I will be watching it. If it's paid, like, I don't know about that. Is my buddy getting it? Okay, then I think I'll watch it.
You find someone that has it.
Depends.
Well, hey buddy. Hey pal.
Like, hey, remember me? We used to be friends. Are you getting it free?
Oh man. So what do you guys with everything that's gone on? Maritza, how has training been for you? Like, I know you're in the middle of an injury right now, but pre-COVID, I mean, you're able to fight with the crowd, and then the world stopped. What was that like when everything stopped for you?
Yeah,
training wise and competing.
Really odd I don't think any of us knew what was coming next or how things were going to change or how quickly things were going to change. So to tell you the truth, at first it was kind of rough just because, everything shut down. And luckily, I was still able to get my training in, but it just wasn't the same. I couldn't train with my training partners or anything like that. But yeah, it
So
just
were you pretty
able to
limited? I'm sorry, were you pretty limited on your training partners during that time? Like you had some, right? But I mean, obviously you're not going to get your whole class that you're normally used to.
It was really limited, yeah. Yeah. As of now, I mean, things have changed since then, since last year. So, kind of back to normal, but now
Almost.
I have a knee injury.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you get your knee injury before COVID or during COVID? Or
I just got it 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's still fresh. Wow.
Yeah, super fresh. Yeah, I mean, and it's getting a lot better.
Good. That's a good sign. If it's only been 3 weeks and it's improving, then I think you're good. I think you'll have a pretty easy recovery. That's really good to hear.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to fully heal, and that way I can get back into my training fully, and then hopefully I'll have some good news on a fight or like a tournament. Yeah.
Good.
Are you concerned at all with any ring rust because it's been so long since you've competed?
Any ring rust, like a ringworm?
No, ring rust is in just the time period of being away and competing will make you kind of stagnant.
No,
are you concerned about that?
Not really. I feel like it'll be like the same. I always get nervous for a fight, so no, I don't think so. I just did a tournament, a jiu-jitsu tournament last month, and there was like a small crowd, nothing crazy, but it just felt like normal. So
how did that one go for you?
Not so well. Yeah, it didn't go my way. I didn't really get to showcase my skills.
Yeah.
But always come back and learn from my mistakes.
That's what they're there for. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What belt are you in jiu-jitsu?
I'm a blue belt currently.
Gotcha.
Have you been a blue belt for a while, or is it new?
I've been a blue belt for a while. Yeah, I've been a blue belt for about I'd say about almost 2 years.
Okay, that's a good amount of time.
Yeah.
That's good. What would you say? And I'm sorry to cut off your questions, James, but I just want to.
You're good.
Okay. What do you prefer? What's your specialty? What's your foundation for MMA?
Well, I started off when I started training. I started off with boxing, and I felt like I really stuck with that. I was able to focus on just boxing when I first started, my overall training. So I feel like that's my foundation, boxing.
Nice. Okay. That's cool. That's cool that you have foundation in boxing, but you're also like a seasoned blue belt too. That's really good. It sounds like you're pretty well-rounded. That's good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to be a well-rounded fighter.
Of course.
You never know how the fight can go, so you want to know what you're doing in there.
Yeah, and I like that you said that you do jiu-jitsu competitions also, because I know a lot of people that are they become pro in MMA or pro in whatever sport, and jiu-jitsu could be a distraction as far as competitions go, and you get that risk of extra injury. So I think that's cool that you like to do both. I like to hear when someone's really active, because they really enjoy doing it and they're really interested in investing in their training and getting better at every little thing. So I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, of course. It's jiu-jitsu is like big part of the game. Like I know this from previous mistakes. First few amateur fights I did, I had no jiu-jitsu whatsoever, and I learned. I got taken to the ground. I would lose by decision or whatever. So I know what it's like, and that's why I'm trying to become a more well-rounded fighter.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, what are when you make your return, tell us some of your goals that you have in mind on why you like to take your career.
Some goals I have in mind. Well, let's see. I always kind of like to look at short-term goals, so like within like a 5-year period of time. Most certainly want to get back into fighting, obviously, as soon as I can, as soon as I'm wealthy enough. I just want to keep evolving, and hopefully, I can get a connection into the UFC. Maybe a Dana White's Contender Series within the next 3 or 4 years. That's kind of like my goal as of now. So we'll see how it goes from here.
That's great. I'm a huge fan of that Contender Series. Those fights are pretty. You know what I like about that is those fights are really, crazy because you're fighting for a contract, so you're wanting to get a finish, a knockout, submission, crazy submission, or whatever to get attention. But I notice a lot of those fighters that come from the Contender Series still keep up that demeanor about them, and they're still going into every fight just as crazy because there's a lot of big names that came out of Contender Series, like Greg Hardy. He's shot way up there as far as popularity goes. Macie Barber came off of there too. That's why I'm a fan of hers. You'll see a lot of really cool, really exciting fighters come out of there. I always like people going on there and seeing what they can do because they usually end up being really badass UFC fighters.
Oh yeah,
cool. I like that. That's good.
Alex Perez, don't forget, local guy Alex Perez out of Lemoore was on there and had a great finish and got a contract, and he's had a title fight. Unfortunately lost, but yeah, a lot of great people have come through the Contender Series, and that's an awesome goal to have. Get some experience under your belt and then go there.
That's a sure way to get in there.
That's a hot shot, way to get into the UFC. That's awesome. Now, all right. Aside from MMA, and then we've talked about you doing Fight to Win. How was that? What was that experience like, doing a jiu-jitsu fight match instead of an MMA match?
Yeah, that was fun. I would do it again. It was fun because it was local. It was in Sacramento, and friends, family were able to go, and I got the win. So that was pretty cool. Fun experience. Like I said, I would do it again. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get on one of their cards again soon.
What about as somebody who has done jiu-jitsu in the past, I never made it higher than a white belt. I'll just be honest. I didn't really go to practice that often, but I'm a huge fan of heel hooks. And I know that's a lot of gyms and dojos are like, that's a no-no for lower belt rankings. What is your favorite submission?
I like arm bars. Flying arm bars especially.
Wow.
That's legit.
It's my go-to.
I haven't seen many of those, but that's cool. I like that.
Have you ever heard of a fighter named Cole Escobedo?
No.
He's another guy who's local to Fresno. He fought a lot in the dark age of MMA when WEC had first come out. That's a guy you need to look up. His fly, he does flying triangles, he did flying everything. That dude just flew everywhere.
Yeah.
Legit old school fighter right there. You need to check that out.
I want to practice my flying triangles now.
When you get better, I hope you do, because I expect to see that on a highlight
I'd like
reel
to
somewhere.
see that. I'd like to see a girl do that. That's for sure.
That would be dope, because I don't think at least in my experiences, I have never seen that. And I think that would be amazing to see a female athlete pull that off. I think that'd be great.
I'll work on that.
Yeah. We'll wait for you.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Let's see. Oh, that's right. This weekend, we have our own jiu-jitsu thing going on with the Underground Fight Series. That's taking place this weekend at Halo Jiu-Jitsu in Fresno. No crowd. We will be streaming it live, so we will have that going on. And we're really looking forward to it. It will be on Sunday. We're going to do a little prep tomorrow to get everything set up, make sure it looks right, make sure it's perfect for everybody to view and check out. And then we're going to have the event on Sunday. At this moment, I don't even know how many people are participating. I know there's quite a few, and they should make for some really interesting matchups. Tom Owens is going to be there. I believe Mike Moreno is also going to be there. Mike Moreno's a coach here. A lot of these guys are jiu-jitsu coaches in the Valley, Maritza.
Oh yeah,
so
I know Mike.
I feel like everybody knows Mike because he's a chill dude. I like him a lot. And he's loud. So yeah.
Yeah, he's loud.
All right. Let's see what else do we got going on in the world of MMA. We were talking about Bellator earlier and how they've introduced rankings. They're going to introduce rankings. They've been around for quite some time, and they're finally going to launch rankings for their top 10. They're going to have two pound for pound lists. Let's see, heavyweight, lightweight. All their weight classes are finally going to have rankings. What do you guys think about Bellator waiting so long to introduce a ranking system?
It's kind of different because Bellator does tournaments. I don't know if that has something to do with it because you get a group of guys, 4 guys, 6 guys, whatever, 4-man tournament. No matter what their rank, if they fight each other, things might not. Maybe they didn't have not enough solid fight cards to rank them number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enough of those to do that with, because you do have these tournaments, So I don't know if that gets in the way. I don't know if that's the reason why. I like that they're doing it. That's good. They've definitely been around long enough, so that's good for them.
Yeah,
what do you think
I
about
honestly have no idea, but that's pretty cool that they're doing that now.
I just think it's been really, you guys have waited this long?
Actually, I didn't even know that they didn't have that until recently.
Hey, you know what?
I didn't have that
until I saw. I was like, wait, they don't have that. But then again, when you look at a lot of their people that they've had come through from the UFC and stuff that they've picked up, they kind of just shoot them straight. Like, you fight one guy, you beat him, you get a title shot. So
I wonder how they decide their matchups now. Now that we're talking about it, I'm like, wait a second, how are they making these matchups now for these regular fight cards? So
I feel like some of their matches could possibly be like, okay, who do we really want to promote? Who's going to be a big name for us? And we'll just put them in there against somebody who's quite possibly a lesser fighter, or this will be a good match. This should be a good fight.
I like that too, though. You think it's a good match, then make it. There's a bunch of fights in UFC that people want to see, but it's like, well, it's not the correct ranking. Even though UFC doesn't follow rules all the time, but they do somewhat. So, I think that's a good move on Bellator to not have it also. Like, you can do whatever you want, just have good matchups. And then you have these tournaments. That's good too.
Now, Maritza, would you go? You're talking about your goals and how you'd like to make it to the UFC Contenders Series. Would you go the route of competing at a Bellator in order to make the jump to UFC? Because I understand for a lot of fighters, UFC is the goal. UFC is the promotion. It's worldwide. Everyone knows it. People appreciate Bellator. I'm a fan of Bellator, but we also know Bellator is a number 2. So would you go that route of building your career up that way to get that way? Or is it UFC Contenders Series or nothing?
I've actually thought about it. They contacted me before in the past, and it's a great organization. They are number 2 in the world, so wherever I think is best for me at the moment, I will go there, and then if I want to make a change, then, and if I have the opportunity to go to the UFC, then I would jump there as well. So yeah, like I'm saying, I would go to Bellator if I wanted to.
Whatever makes sense for you at the time.
Whatever makes sense, basically.
Yeah.
I understand that. And all right, so you were telling us what your base was what was it like adjusting from having more of a boxing background to doing jiu-jitsu? Was it a tough transition or was it just easy?
It was, I mean, nothing's, easy. But I think I was really able to just focus on my jiu-jitsu for a bit, and then I was able to combine both my stand-up and my ground game together. Just slowly started coming together.
Did you you didn't like take a break from striking, did you? Or did you just kind of incorporate it with your like daily schedule?
No. No, I was still doing my stand-up, still training. I was doing both, yeah.
Okay.
But I just feel like I was focusing more on my ground game.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit more about some of your training partners that you have at your gym.
To tell you the truth, I'm actually the only fighter at my gym. So, I mean,
as far as like competition goes?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I have my.
So you have your coach.
Yeah, I have two coaches actually. I have my boxing gym. So my head coach is there with me, and then I also have my jiu-jitsu gym, which is I have my jiu-jitsu coach there. So at my jiu-jitsu coach, we actually have more fighters that are connected to Team Alpha Male. So
Nice.
so I guess you could say they're my teammates because I've been training with them there for a while. But yeah, I don't really have like any solid training partners, I guess you could say. But yeah, they're helping me a lot. So
that's good. You have a place to go to for that.
Is a good place to go to and get some training in there too. So,
is it hard being the tallest person at Team Alpha Male when you've had to travel there?
The tallest person?
Yeah, because the running joke is that a lot of them are smaller weight classes, and so they're tiny.
That's funny.
It's like, hey, did I just kick a child on accident? Oh no, that's a grown man. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that child will kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, they're fierce fighters. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Team Alpha Male. Uriah Faber all day.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, you got to be the tallest person there.
Yeah, no, a lot of them, they're like, I mean, there's different sizes and height, but a lot of them are like, I guess you could say my height. Obviously there's taller and some shorter people in there. So, I mean, it's cool that, to have a lot of different people that you can work with.
I have a question. So what weight do you fight at?
I fight at 135.
Okay, so do you have any trouble cutting weight, or what's your routine as far as that goes? I'm curious. I'm curious to find out what other girls go through to cut weight, because it's so difficult. It seems like I feel like guys can do it a lot easier than girls. I just want to know what your experience is like with cutting weight to make that.
Yeah. I mean, cutting weight's not fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel really comfortable at 135. I have cut down to 125, and that was a brutal weight cut.
Rough.
But yeah, I mean, it starts off with your diet. You want to have a good diet, and then obviously you're training.
Do you have a lot of weight to lose when you cut weight, or not really?
To get to 135, I'd say about 15 to 20.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
20 sucks. That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
How far out would you start your weight cut?
What's that?
When you're doing a weight cut, how far out would you start? Would it be at the beginning of camp or a little bit further into camp?
The beginning. So right at the beginning of camp, as soon as I know I have a fight, is when I change my diet. And then all the fun stuff, going on runs and sauna suits and all. Once the fight gets closer, I would say like the week before, I've already cut down at least 10 pounds.
So you got to get down at least half of that.
At least 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So then I only have like 8 or so pounds left to cut. So then that's just water weight. I just focus on cutting the water weight off slowly. Because obviously you don't want to dehydrate yourself like the whole entire week. So you really want to wait.
That's a shitty week if you have to do that. Yeah.
It is.
So you
That's
really
all
want to
bad.
wait until the day before weigh-ins, really.
Mm-hmm.
But
now I'm sorry.
No,
did you have a lot of amateur experience, or did you kind of just jump in there pretty quickly as far as going pro?
I had 12 amateur fights. I would have liked to have more, but it was just rough trying to find fights all the time.
Yeah.
It just came to the point where like it was just hard, you know.
It didn't make sense anymore.
Especially as an amateur female fighter. It was hard to get a matchup in the local area or whatever. So we're like, 12 fights, you know, I think it's a pretty good amount of experience. So.
You might as well, because you know you'll get fights being a pro, so that's good.
Yeah.
And then I know, because I do amateur Muay Thai, and unfortunately all the fights that I've done, we have to weigh in the day of, the same morning. So, you know, we don't really try. I don't try to cut that much weight to be, you know, to make that a problem anyways. But did you ever have to do that? Weigh in the same day for any of your fights?
The same day, yeah.
Same morning? Oh, Jesus, that sucks. So I take it you definitely prefer day before weigh-in?
Day before, yeah, just because you have more time to recover, more time to hydrate. You just feel better.
Yeah, okay.
I want to say for like a lot of amateur fighters or competitors, it's always day of. I don't really know of.
You know what? Though, you know, for some reason, all the amateur fights I've done were the day of. But there are some where you could do the day before. I just haven't got the chance to do one of those yet.
All right, man. All right, we've talked about some pretty interesting stuff here. We've discussed just about every promotion under the sun, at least in the United States, for MMA. And we've also discussed the Underground Fight Series. Looking forward to that this weekend. So,
what time does that start? Do you know? On Sunday?
I don't have a start time right now, but I'll find out and I'll put it out there. I'll let people know, and we'll go ahead and get that going for this weekend. Kaelyn, you got anything else you'd like to add?
I think I'm good. I think I got it in the questions I was really curious about. No, I don't think. I think that was it for me as far as my questions go.
All right. Maritza, tell us, where can people find you on Instagram or whatever social media platforms?
Yeah, if you guys want to follow me, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Maritza Sanchez, and it's going to be a __ at the end. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do post some of my fight stuff on there.
Yeah.
Just look up my name, Maritza Sanchez. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And for all of us at the MMA Mainstream Podcast, we will see you guys next time.